So since we're talking about some container terminology and so forth, one of the things that I want to cover is base images versus child images. Many times when you build containers and you build off your applications and so forth, there's the idea of what we call the base images. So the base images are typically what you get to build on. There's some images that are already out there, then rather than you even doing all the legwork, you just basically build on top of them and add what you need and so forth. So those are typically called base images. And then obviously whatever you build on top of those, we tend to call them the child images that adds your own kind of functionality and so forth. Most images you'll likely have will be child images because you're pretty much building off like your base images and so forth. So I just wanted to highlight that as well. Now, one of the things that we do want to cover actually is these are just a list of some of the popular containerization platforms. We have Docker. This is most widely used platform for containerization. And we do have Kubernetes, also leading orchestration tool. And we have Podman and then OpenShift as well. So just wanted to highlight those. What is the container lifecycle? Typically, we build images, we store those images, we deploy them as containers, and then we manage and scale. So when we build images, this is where we're creating the container image, say from a Docker file or something else. And we're ideally saying this is the packages we want to use, this is the versions, this is the commands, all of those things. We'll cover that in our demo in the end, but I just want to highlight that for now. So we typically build our images, we store them, whether it's using our local registries or hubs, as in this case, we have Docker Hub. So the difference between a local registry is you are managing it privately. And in Docker Hub, this is more like internet based. And I'm saying internet based only because it may not exist locally on that particular server that you're managing, but it could be on a different server, even within your network and so forth. And they're private registries because then they contain images that are only your images that you've created. So they're custom images. I always like to give the analogy and say, think of it like open source and proprietary software. So in private registries, you have your containers that you built and so forth. And in like the hubs and so forth, they tend to be public images that you can also pull, which are like base images that you can build off of and so forth. So just wanted to highlight that. And then we deploy containers. Obviously, we deploy our container instances as images, and then we manage and scale.